Hey guys, Evan again, your paramedic coach. And today I want to give you a really important tip when it comes to on the job, preparing for your career to protect yourself from getting sued, malpractice, medical malpractice, courtrooms. It's something that's very overlooked, and quite frankly, educators, I believe, they don't have time to go into the career aspects of your job. Obviously they're so busy getting you prepped for national registry, getting prepped to make you a good provider, teaching you so much. Of course there's no time to go over the on-the-job things that you might be learning, things you need to know once you're actually out there on the road practicing. That's why I'm here as the paramedic coach, to kind of fill in those gaps and give you guys my tips and my insight. Now that I've been a paramedic now for several years, giving you this insight in to what you need to know to build your career up from being a new EMT, through the ranks, get through it all, get through the schooling, get through national registry, get through everything, and build a good career for yourself. But we need to protect that career. So here's why I'm here. Today I want to talk about medical or professional liability insurance, whatever you want to call it. All right, now listen up. I am not an insurance expert, but I can just tell you from my own experience that I believe it's very important to get this liability insurance. If doctors and nurses have liability insurance, why don't EMTs and paramedics? Now we do, but it's not really talked about. Again, I've probably only really talked about it with like one or two other people, partners, providers, whatever you want to call it. It's just not something that people really talk about. It's not really taught for the most part. It's not in the education. This goes back to kind of an on-the-job thing that you learn. Well, I'm giving it to you now as you're getting into your career, or maybe you're just beginning your career. Maybe you're like me and I didn't have the liability insurance until I was a paramedic for a few months, and then I learned about it. Now here's what it is. Go to hpso.com. It's your .com or .org. Just type into Google HPSO, all right? So it's a really great organization that offers medical and professional liability insurance. Now, depending on where you live and depending on if you're an EMT, advanced EMT, paramedic, whatever, it may change a little bit, the pricing. Now, when I first started my first year, it was at $150, straight up $150 for the year, and I was covered into the millions, all right, for getting sued, liability insurance, all right. Pretty cool, all right. So it's not just some like, oh yeah, a little bit of money. It's a lot of money, and they'll break it down for you. Go check it out for yourself. I'm not going to get into the details of the plans and stuff, but very simply, it's not a lot of money. I would assume for different areas, different regions, different states, and different, EMT, advanced EMT, paramedic, whatever your level you're at, whatever you're doing, once you put in all your information, anywhere from $100 to probably $200, I'd say is a pretty fair estimate. This site is great, and they're basically the leaders in this professional and medical liability insurance. Guys, I highly suggest that you go and check this out. As an EMT, I didn't even know about it. I didn't even think about it. No one even told me about it. I just never went through my head. But once I became a paramedic, I heard some other people talking about it. I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, what is this? Gave me the information. I was like, wow, it's something you obviously need. Don't forget, we're in charge of patient care as EMTs and paramedics from on scene all the way until we transfer care to a nurse or doctor. So this is very important. All right, guys, we gotta get this. We are practicing emergency medicine at a very high level, and we're in a great level of of authority and responsibility. You gotta have liability insurance, and I bet for everyone, if you've been doing EMS long enough, you'll think back to a few calls where you might have been like, "Wow, it's a good thing, I have my insurance cover me on that one. That was a crazy call. Or that was an unexpected outcome." All right. So far, knock on wood, thankfully, nothing has come up for me in my career yet. But there always will be calls where you're like, wow, that was crazy, that was a wild one, or you hear about an unexpected outcome. It will happen. If you practice emergency medicine, you're going to have good, amazing outcomes, and you're going to have really bad outcomes. Now, obviously, just a quick talk here, there's no excuse for doing things like drawing up the wrong medicine, giving the wrong medicine. There's no excuse for that. That is just plain, in my opinion. Again, this is just obviously, guys, everything here is my own personal opinion, giving you guys my insight. There's no excuse for drawing up a wrong medicine. For example, if you drew up amiodarone, gave someone amiodarone, you thought it was Zofran, in my opinion, there's no excuse for that whatsoever. But sometimes there are going to be unexpected outcomes or things that, and it's good to have this. All right. Sometimes it isn't even your fault, but there was a bad outcome, and people sue. So it's very important. Professional or medical liability insurance, guys, go check it out. HPSO.com or .org. Just type it into Google. All right, and guys, I'll see you next time. Good chat. Thanks.